if you're shooting well and you get excited by that, then that could adversely affect what's going on downrange.
So the gold medal goes to Katuna Lorg, the silver to Mackenzie Brown, and Shim Ye-ji of Korea takes home the bronze medal. Now we switch gears and we go to the guys. It is the men's recurve competition. We'll start off with the bronze medal match, and the first one out onto the field of battle here tonight is another Korean archer. This is Gae Dong-hyun of Korea, who'll be facing his fellow countryman Joo Wan. So two of the Koreans battling in the bronze medal match. Of course, many of the great Korean archers in Brazil right now at a training event.
Yeah, I think they're in Sao Paulo right now training and getting acclimatized to what Brazil would feel like. And these archers, I hate to say they're the B team, but I mean the B team
they're still great.
Yeah, can still play with all the big boys and still win everything. So these archers are definitely great in their own respect because they're still part of the Korean national team.
Ladies and gentlemen, bronze medal match.
I spent all day shooting with Kim. And he was on the same target as me, and I had the feeling that he might be sick. He was coughing all day and just he didn't look good. And that's in my opinion. I mean, like, his shooting was still really good. And Mr. Dong-hyun, I mean, I think he dropped only 2 points today. So out of 300, he shot 298 points. And Kim has opened the door.
And 9.
So Mr. Gae with a 9 right there. 10 and a 9 to start off. Mr. Kim now.
And a 9.
With another 9. So he remains 1 point behind in this opening set. And Gae Dong-hyun can secure this set and 2 points with a 10, and he catches the line. Just bites that line. It's a 10-liner. So no matter what Kim would do on that shot, 3 straight 9s, that set was going to Gae Dong-hyun of Korea, who takes a 2-0 lead here in the bronze medal match.
But Mr. Kim's arrows are all out to the right, which means that I think he was just sighted in for a different lighting scenario, which is absolutely true. The other field has different lighting, and the fact that he grouped all of his arrows off to the right just means that, you know, just click your sight over a little bit and move those arrows into the 10 ring and you'll be good. So I think that's all he has to do right now, and I know I've seen him shooting. He's a very good shooter, so I'm not going to put it past him that he just started out with 3 9s, that he's the lesser of the 2 archers right now. He's going to come back. I'm willing to bet it.
Joo Wan defeated Jean-Charles Valadon of France in the 1/8 round. Defeated another Frenchman, Pierre Plion, in the quarterfinals before losing to Alexander Kozhin of the Russian Federation in the semifinals 6-2. We'll tell you a little bit more about Gae Dong-hyun and his path to this bronze medal match after this set.
That's a 10 from Mr. Kim. It's centered, but it's now still a little high, which is what all of his other arrows were.
Mr. Gae's first attempt.
And that's a 10.
A little low, but inside the line. That'll do.
10.
So apparently the adjustments have been made.
I told you. That's a 9 or a 10 on the line. I think it's in.
Looked like he caught the line from our vantage point.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And you see him shaking his head. He's not impressed with that shooting.
He left the door open.
And takes advantage of that one.
Gae Dong-hyun taking advantage with a 10 right there to go up 4-0 in the match as he's won the first 2 sets. Closely contested sets, but nonetheless, it's a 4-0 lead for Mr. Gae right now.
And for anybody wondering what the spelling and the pronunciation that we're doing right now, we've actually gone down. We've asked the Korean team how to properly say their name. So even though it's written Guy, his actual name is Gae.
And that's the family name.
And that's the family
Thus,
name.
Mr. Gae.
Mr. Gae Dong-hyun. Not Hyun, Hun. So for anybody out there who's wondering why we might not be reading the screen right, we're going off of exactly what the Korean team has told us how to pronounce their names, because I'm actually a little finicky about that, making sure that I get all of these names pronounced correctly.
Let me see. Crispin Duenas.
That's right.
Yes, okay. I wanted to make sure. Crispin Duenas of Canada, along with Carl Arke of the United States, here on a Saturday night in Las Vegas at the Preferred Pavilion in the South Point Hotel and Casino. What a great venue. What a great place. They've had the Vegas shoot at many venues, but this is the best over the last 50 years.
And the biggest, which I will talk about in a little bit. That's a 9 or a 10. It's a 9, unfortunately.
So low on that opening salvo for Mr. Kim, who's trailing 4-0 in this match already. Mr. Gay trying to close things out, and he's off to a good start with that first shot. 10-9 lead for Gae Dong-hun of Korea.
It's a 10, just in.
Mr. Kim trying to come back. Gae Dong-hun holding him off right now, leading by 1 in the set, so that's 29 points in the set.
So a 10 to win.
A 9 and they split.
That's
there's the 9. So a chance to close it out. And Mr. Gay does not take advantage of that opportunity, and so they split the points, and they will play on to a 4th set.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing from that final arrow from Mr. Gay was that it's out to the left, and for a right-handed shooter, in my experience, from what I've done, that just means that he didn't complete his release as cleanly as he usually does. He probably came away from his face just a little bit, and his fingers pulled the string out to the right, which basically
so he pulled away from it, his face instead of just going right back along his chin line.
Exactly. So usually you see the fingers ending up behind the ear, but if you pull away from your face, horizontally away from your face, that'll pull the arrow and make it actually point left, which is why I think that last arrow was out to the left. And that happens under a lot of pressure with recurve archers, just because of the finesse that you need to have in your fingers to execute a perfectly executed shot.
So much goes into what takes place out here on the line. These great Korean archers, battle tested, trained, and down 5-1. Mr. Kim starts off with that 10.
That's a 10. And the match really still isn't over until it's actually over. I have seen many situations like this where an archer is down 5-1 and comes back to tie it 5-5. See what happens here with set play. That's a 10.
Kim Joo Wan starting to warm up and rise to the occasion here in Las Vegas. Oof. That left arm was a little shaky, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still he got what a lot of archers would call it almost a pinwheel, but dead center.
All even. Third shot, and that may.
He is still pushing them out high right.
All he needs is a 9 to split. He gets the 10, and the win is definitively his. Mr. Gae Dong-hun of Korea coming through and winning by the final score of 7-1 as he wins that set convincingly and wins the match convincingly. These two guys went a long way from home just so they could go up against each other here in the United States.
Well, I think that's what they wanted to have done, because like if they're going against each other in a medal round, somebody's walking away with a medal from that country. But good shooting from Mr. Gae Dong-hun, and I mean, it's unfortunate that Mr. Kim, I'm really having this feeling that he's a little sick and under the weather for this tournament.
I don't think you need to be a doctor to be able to tell if a guy's feeling a little under the weather. You could probably tell.
Yeah, his coughs didn't sound healthy at all today. It wasn't one of those little throat scratches. It was a pretty good one.
You know, it's interesting. I run into so many athletes from so many different sports, mostly here in the United States, and they complain about road trips. And they're going, you know, maybe an hour or 2 hours on a plane, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. I say, you got to understand, there's athletes in this world who travel around the world to compete. You guys have it easy.
Yeah. That's not a 14-hour plane ride you just got off of.
Exactly.
So.
And now you've got to go and perform.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't catch a cold, by the way.
Yeah, in that recycled, dry airplane air.
Sure. You've got to adjust to the food. You've got to adjust to the atmosphere, the weather conditions, being in another nation. So, yeah, not easy.
No, not at all.